ọ̀pọ̀ àṣeyọrí nínú pípẹ́ ẹ̀ka ètò ọrọ̀ ajé nípasẹ̀ ètò ọ̀gbìn, àgbékalẹ̀ àwọn ibùdó tó ń kó nǹkan wọlé látòkè òkun àti pàṣípààrọ̀ lẹ́ka okòòwò. Bákan náà ni gómìnà Mákindé tún ṣàlàyé bí iṣẹ́ àkànṣe oko Fáṣọlá ṣe mú àyípadà ọ̀tun bá ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́, èyí tó ń fa ojú àwọn olókoòwò wá sí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ láti ẹkùn gbogbo tí ń bẹ ní tìbútòrò orílẹ̀-èdè yìí àti àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè mìíràn nílẹ̀ adúláwọ̀. Ilé aṣòfin ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ti rọ ẹ̀ka aláṣẹ láti túbọ̀ ṣèdásílẹ̀ àwọn iléeṣẹ́ panápaná jákèjádò ìpínlẹ̀ yìí láti lè mú kí ọwọ́ iṣẹ́ wọn túbọ̀ yá kánkán sí i. Ilé fún ìpè yìí lẹ́yìn àbá kan tí aṣáájú ilé aṣòfin Sanjọ́ Adédoyin gbé síwájú ilé, èyí tí ọ̀nàrẹ́bù Bámidélé Adéọlá tó ń ṣojú ẹkùn ìdìbò Ìsẹ́yìn àti Ìtẹ̀síwájú, ọ̀nàrẹ́bù Babájídé Adébáyọ̀ tó wá láti àríwá Ìbàdàn kejì àti ọ̀nàrẹ́bù Yínká Omíkúnlé tó wá láti ìlà oòrùn gúúsù Ìbàdàn kejì ṣonígbọ̀wọ́ ẹ̀. Àbá náà ni wọ́n gbé síwájú ilé lórí ìdí tó fi yẹ kí ẹ̀ka aláṣẹ ìjọba túbọ̀ ṣèdásílẹ̀ àwọn iléeṣẹ́ panápaná ní tìbútòrò ìpínlẹ̀ yìí kí wọ́n lè tètè máa dáhùn sí ìpè pàjáwìrì àti ìdóòlà ẹ̀mí lásìkò ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ìjàmbá iná. Bákan náà ẹ̀wẹ̀ ọ̀nàrẹ́bù Ọlọ́runpọ̀tó Rahman tó ń ṣojú ẹkùn ìdìbò ìlà oòrùn ìwọ̀ oòrùn rọ ìjọba láti ṣèrànwọ́ fáwọn òǹtajà tó pàdánù ọjà wọn lọ́jà Àṣàmú nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Ó wá gbóríyìn fún ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àti iléeṣẹ́ panápaná fún títètè dáhùn sí ìpè ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ pàjáwìrì. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ló tún ké sí ìjọba láti gbé ìgbésẹ̀ kọ́mọ́nkíá láti lè dènà irúfẹ́ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ yìí lọ́jọ́ iwájú. Kí n tó máa lọ, ìgbáyégbádùn àwọn èèyàn ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló jẹ ìṣèjọba tó wà lóde báyìí nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ lógún. Nítorí náà ẹ jẹ́ ká gbárùkù ti ìjọba nínú ayan àti ìlàkàkà rẹ̀ láti gbé ìpínlẹ̀ yìí gòkè àgbà, yóò ju wa ṣe o. Ìròyìn ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ fún ti tàsìkò yìí kò ní jù báyìí lọ. Ẹniọlá Adéàga ló ṣàkójọpọ̀ ìròyìn, Títílọpẹ́ Bóyèdé ló mú wá sétí ìgbọ̀yín. Ẹ káàsán.
We are Carrywise, an investment company and wealth manager to a thriving generation of young Nigerians. We have set up our customers to become financially free in ways that won't take the style from your lifestyle. This is why we are passionate about wealth, to move you beyond the potential you see today to the untapped financial possibilities you desire tomorrow. It's time to do wealth differently. Carrywise, plan, save, invest.
Best in news, sports and entertainment. We got everything you need and so much more, yeah. 98.5 FM Oluyole. 98.5 FM. Hear me now. Go down to the #1 station. Educative and quality information. Brighten up your day in so many ways. Tune to 98.5 FM. 98.5 FM. 98.5 FM. Oluyole. 98.5 FM. 98.5 FM.
Still on Oluyole 98.5 FM. Coming up now is Searchlight with Dola Teriba.
It's almost mid-term into the life of the present political administration in Nigeria, being run by the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC. Expectedly, the fresh political intrigues are on towards the next general elections, with the ruling party, of course, seeking to perpetuate its hold on power on one hand, and the political interest seeking to change the current narrative on the other. As it is often insinuated that the Nigerian electoral system leaves just 2 years for serious governance, and the rest 2 out of the stipulated 4-year term for politicking. Searchlight this afternoon will be looking at these antecedents as we discuss the topic between politics and development midway to 2027 electoral race. Yes, between politics and development midway to 2027 electoral race. My guest on Searchlight this afternoon is a public affairs analyst, social commentator, and the coordinator, Peace Advocates Nigeria, Elder Johnson Ajilore. Welcome to Searchlight, sir.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, our listeners.
It's always so good to see you, Elder Ajilore.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Searchlight is our regular current affairs discussion program on Thursday afternoons on Oluyole 98.5 FM on the stables of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, where we discuss topical national and global issues. My name is Tola Teriba, your anchor on the program. All right, now to business. I'm Elder Ajilore. And my first question, why do Nigerian politicians at a point in time in the life of successive administrations always see the need to have what is often referred to as a third force ahead of the next general elections to do electoral battle with the incumbent party in government? Now, is it that these successive administrations in themselves have justified this by their individual non-performance, or is it merely about the whims and caprices of disgruntled but powerful elements who have not been able to get what they want in the current scheme of things?
Yeah, thank you very much, Tola. And it's a big pleasure to be here this afternoon to look into this. Yes, politics, policies, and the people. When you look at the third force, the group that usually initiates third force, there's no doubt about it that it's always always emanate from those that are disgruntled. Those I'm talking of the many of the politicians, that are disgruntled. Apart from that, where you have weak opposition in any administration or any settings, you will always have a kind of force like this. And there's a lot of things that drive this, and to bring them together, to want to face the government in power. When you look at the law, the way the law operates in Nigeria is very, very funny. It is the law that activates, the conscience of the people. Where the law is not working adequately well, there we begin to see various forces, coming from different directions. And as a result of this, those ones will now want to pretend. Let me even use the word pretend, as if they are not speaking to, a particular vision that will be carried out. Where there is no vision, the people perish. And there's no doubt about it. We all know that Nigeria, as we speak today, there's no vision. no direction. That's when it's clear. Even if you take the thought force out of the picture, as we speak, we know there is no vision, and where there is no vision, there's always a division. Nigeria is divided, and it's very clear and very obvious for all and sundry.
Well, some Nigerians may not agree with you that there is no vision.
That there is no vision? Oh, well, look at vision. Vision combines the two key elements of insight and foresight. If there is a vision, that there's a thing that we are all pursuing, there will always be a mission. There will always be a joint where we all agree that this is the direction we are taking, and we enter into. And this is how you even know that there is no vision. As we speak today, different laws operate in these two parts of the country. All I'm talking is that the northern part and the southern part operate two different laws. Oh. Why the penal code, where the northern part of Nigeria, operates on the penal code act, the southern part still operate the criminal code act. All right, and so people that have vision will not operate different laws. This kind of thing, you cannot see people of vision, that have visionary leaders that will not know the direction that they are going. So this is the reason you will have various forces coming together to call themselves, thought force. Even though those that will share the formation of thought force, these are the ones with deep pockets, Okay. And yes, unfortunately, you will now find these deep pockets among the strong elements within the political circle.
Well, disgruntled because they mean well for the country, or disgruntled because, like I said, maybe they have not been able to get what they want in the scheme of things?
The majority of them are disgruntled not because they mean well for the country, but just because to achieve their own selfish end, not for the national interest, as it were. But unfortunately, just like I say, we want to, when we look at the way we play our politics with development, we're talking of vision. When you ask us, am I saying that we do not have a vision? If Nigeria is a country with a deeply rooted vision, and then ready to carry the people along, it will be development, focused. Let's cast our back to how the entire globe, see development, as it were, starting from the MDG, as the Millennium Development Goals, up until after that we enter into the SDG, the Sustainable Development Goal. And then if you look at the first 3 goals of the 17 goals of the Sustainable Development Goal, which division, that is, if we have vision, we should have been addressing, or we should have really dealt with to a certain extent. Look at like the first goal of the SDG, which is no poverty. The second goal, no hunger. And then the third goal, then which is good health and well-being, of the people. Looking at these these first 3 goals out of the 17 goals, you see that will bring about development, which one expect that will bring about sustainable development. We are far away from these set goals. As we speak today, are we saying there is no poverty in Nigeria? When you go talk of multidimensional poverty, it's like the people I'm speaking pidgin English now. The people for Warri, as they will talk, then go talk. They will say, now for Nigeria, poverty take belle touch ground. Now, as we speak today, the level of poverty is embarrassing. The level of hunger, which is the goal, the second goal, it has become another thing. look at the numbers of people, begging for what to eat, how to get to move from point A to point B, the stress they pass through. Look at the way our young ones, the children, even between ages 1 to 10, look at the way they beg all over the place, but especially in the other part of Nigeria, the Almajiris, And so how will you now say that? How will you now marry these two together, harmoniously, between looking at the level of poverty and politics, looking at the politics development, and then as it affects or as it addresses poverty, hunger, the health and the well-being of the people.
Elder Jiro, you also mentioned a weak opposition. Now, currently, in the Nigerian political structure, are you saying the major opposition is weak, and this might be the reason this time around for this emerging stories about a third force, this emerging efforts at building a third force? Remember, the one being spearheaded by Malam Nasir El-Rufai, former Kaduna State Governor, they said they were not going to reckon with the PDP, which should be the major opposition party in this country. So I don't know if that kind of consolidates your thoughts on a weak opposition, like you mentioned. Is the current opposition a weak one? The current major
very, very, very weak opposition.
There must be reasons why
they're very, very weak opposition. In fact, I've never seen a kind of opposition like this in my life, my entire life. As I've been looking and studying yes, PDP has been weakened to a point of no return. Labour Party has been unable to lift up their hands and to even live up to the expectation of the people, most especially the youth, who believe so much in Labour Party that time, and they are so weak now that speaking the truth to power has become a challenge even for them. All right. And my take is this: you see, as we move and as the opposition move on, even as we move gradually moving into the arena of 2027 politics and election, now there's going to be a revelation. Okay. A revelation is going to come. For us, for the opposition to get it right. And when you talk about the opposition, we are talking about the people themselves. The opposition and the game that is on ground. When I spoke about revelation, because where you have revelation, this is where you have revolution. Because there's going to be a revolution, within the mind of the people. Then whenever we have the revolution, you cannot even have revolution and not have a resolution, where you now get the solution, the desired solution that we are talking about. Because all that the thought force and especially the El-Rufai, in fact, I don't want to say much about El-Rufai because I could be saying because I've studied El-Rufai and the Kaduna and the politics in Kaduna and the southern Kaduna, this northern Kaduna, and all that played out, all the religious calculations that he made, all the religious game that he brought into it, and almost made religion to become a crime to humanity, over there, and even almost tearing species apart. That's why I said I don't want to talk much about El-Rufai, because he has an ulterior motive. El-Rufai has an ulterior, and he had his grievances and scores to settle with this present government.
His own party.
All right, and his own party is APC. He knows we all know that the role he played at bringing the current president to power. All right, and how he thought that he would be compensated, but he was not. So what the game El-Rufai is playing presently is self-serving, not for the interest of the people. Okay. And as many as are following El-Rufai, I doubt it if they are really getting it right. But the opposition that will have really gotten it right and then network with other parties is the PDP. But because of all these rancors, because of all these disagreements that cannot be easily resolved, and I wonder how we have among them, why we have within the PDP circle where they made themselves disagreeable personalities. We can disagree without being disagreeable. There is a way we can come to the right table and just look at issues and get everything settled. But unfortunately, they have become a prey in the hands of the APC ruling party. So what the people now need to do, that's the totality of the people as we speak, because it does not matter what you say, everything is about the people. Politics is about the people.
Okay, now that you say this, everything is about the people, politics about the people, and then you are talking about the need for Nigerians to have a better deal than what they have now come 2027, and then you also spoke about the possibility of the third force, or maybe the probability that the third force itself might not mean well for Nigerians. The fact that that third force may be full of self-serving people who have ulterior motives. Now, I want you to do a quick assessment of the current voter maturity of Nigerians. It's also mid-term for the Tinubu administration, and the politics of 2027 are started, especially for those seeking to unseat the current government and the president through the ballot box. So, the current voter maturity of Nigerians, what determines today's voting pattern? Is it really about political alignments, realignments, or political coalitions, such as we are having at the moment? Or is it more about political party or individual integrity and credibility? That's now talking about the political maturity, voter maturity of the average Nigerian.
Looking at voter maturity of average Nigerian, it's so weak. You see, only matured mind, can be termed. Only mature minds can be termed to really know what they are doing when voting, when election campaign and casting of votes, begins. You see, our people generally are not politically educated. They are not politically. The awareness around politics, policies, government, and governance is not there for the people. All right. So the politicians always capitalize on this to ensure that voters are not matured, and in fact, this is what where the politicians think that it pays off for them, that voters don't really know what they are doing, because before you can really vote for your desired candidate, before you can escape the influence of the use of money by politicians, your mind has to be regenerated, because anything that enters the mind finds its way into the brain, and when it comes there, that is about thinking.
In the midst of poverty, you are talking about regeneration of the mind. In the midst of crippling poverty.
That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going, because poverty itself is a kind of captivity. The mind that been captured by poverty, which we all know, and that's exactly where I'm going. Now, it is very difficult for the people to be. I mean for the voters to have a matured mind when it comes to voting pattern, and this most of the times plays out when the issue of voting is down. And this is the reason. This is even the reason it is very easy for politicians even to manipulate figures, to play with figures, and then get away with it. Then the people themselves are not ready already. They are waiting for since they are waiting for what to take and what to gain during that election, during that period. They just cast their votes according to what their belly says. So that's the truth about it. And since only good governance can really guarantee development and build them out of this poverty and impoverishment, the onus is on the civil society, let me say this, to educate the voters, get them matured, and then let them look for credible leaders that will bring the dividends of democracy to them, and then bring about development at various levels, both at the national, the state, and the local government levels. And another thing is that our people they believe so much in prayers, thinking that during this election or whatever, or even choosing, or trying to choose leaders, they believe that it is God that will choose for them. They believe that it is God that gives leaders to people. Of course, waiting for miracle is good. It's not that I don't believe that, but you have a role to play. Even in God's own miracle, no miracle happens without your preparation, without the preparation of man, without the participation of man and cooperation of man with God. And in this area, this is the reason we have to think, and we have to work towards getting the people well enlightened. Well, I'm talking of the voters, well enlightened, educated, and then they'll be able to really get their desired leaders. These are lazy thinkers. We don't want to think that, we don't want to sit down as a people, as a group, as organizations to discuss it, to dialogue, even starting from the religious leaders. The religious leaders are actually expected to be to take the lead when it comes to having credible election, having good governance, when it comes to having a nation or a country where peace reigns, where there is justice, where we have justice, where we have peace, where we have development, we have progress, and people live their normal life.
Sometimes these mid-term political wrangling is seen to be instigated along ethnic basis on the part of some of the political stakeholders. Now, do you think the North is unhappy with the Tinubu administration? Because as some are saying, northern Nigeria and the northern political elites have not gotten the expected deal from the Tinubu government. And we also seem to have a divided North over this matter, with those who are direct political beneficiaries saying that the northern voices of dissent are not speaking for northern Nigeria. So who is being economical with the truth, and what do you think is the true position of northern Nigeria midway into Tinubu government?
I don't expect us. I don't expect us to think that the northern politicians will be happy with President Tinubu's government. Looking at, you say?
It got overwhelming support from.
Yes, that is after getting overwhelming support, for them from them to get to power, and then with all that is playing out now, especially with the appointment to key offices, positions where they think their zones, will benefit from. Now, the power game, when it comes to power game, I want us to understand this, and this is very, very important. Power game does not just come easily like that. The northern part of Nigeria, they know. I'm talking of even the leaders, northern leaders. They know what they benefit when they take a chunk of choice political offices. When they occupy these offices, they know what they do with it. They know what they use to drive, what they use offices and positions to drive, and to achieve their own vision within the northern part of Nigeria. And I think this is the reason we are even seeing so many things coming out, these days. Issue of USAID, involvement in terrorism, and all the stuff. And where do we have the terrorism, the high level of terrorism taking place? Is it not the northern part? And then the politics behind it as well. We all understand this, and that is even after the USAID withdraw their support from their support for the TB, HIV, malaria stuff, and about 28,000 health workers, about to be thrown into the, or they are already even thrown into the ocean of no job market. Now, northern leaders are going to play very serious politics with this, and they are going to show their grievance and even use it against the present government, because the Tinubu government, because they know that as soon as we move closer to 2027, they are going to leverage on it, and they are laying their foundation. This is the foundation for chaos. This is the foundation for uproars, when the time comes. Remember what they laid, the kind of blocks, the roadblocks and barricades that they laid for the former president Goodluck Jonathan. And Goodluck Jonathan, how the Boko Harams, reared his ugly head. Now they are now saying that it is the USA. It is alleged anyway. It is alleged that USAID, is the one sponsoring Boko Haram. And when you look at USAID, now this is USAID that was established in 1961 by the JF Kennedy president. That's the U.S. president JF Kennedy, that has his goals, the objectives, the aim, and the purpose of setting this up. Now for disgruntled individuals to now come out and now tag USAID as the sponsor of Boko Haram is appalling. Though people are dissecting it and analyzing it and looking at alleged. It belongs to the U.S.
Congressman Mr. John Perry, he was the one that first blew the lead on the USAID with this allegation?
Blame politics. He says so, but the northern the elders who are trying to capitalize on it now, even though politics that run from the what part of the political circle is that came up with this? From the U.S.
The Republican.
Thank you. Now that this has come, there is politics, then there is development. Nigeria focuses on politics, trying to play dirty politics, while the USAID focuses on development. So, to whose benefit now? If drastic measure is not taken to tackle all of this, coming from various angles against the present government of Mr. President Tinubu.
The program is still Searchlight on Oluyole 98.5 FM, and we are discussing the topic between politics and development midway to 2027 electoral race. Between politics and development midway to 2027 electoral race. And my guest is Elder Johnson Ajilore. He is of the Peace Advocates Nigeria. He is the coordinator. He's a public affairs analyst and a social commentator. All right, let's have this short break and we'll be right back.
We are Carrywise, an investment company and wealth manager to a thriving generation of young Nigerians. We have set up our customers to become financially free in ways that won't take the style from your lifestyle. This is why we are passionate about wealth, to move you beyond the potential you see today to the untapped financial possibilities you desire tomorrow. It's time to do wealth differently. Carrywise, plan, save, invest.
All right, back, and it's good to know you are still there, and the program is Searchlight on Oluyole 98.5 FM. All right, it's your turn. Time to hear from you, dear esteemed audience, and the number to call. Welcome your questions and your contributions. 080-5500-9850, 070-5555-1985, 080-5500-9850, 070-5555-1985. Those are the numbers to call. Welcome your contributions and questions on Searchlight this afternoon. My guest, still very much Elder Johnson Ajilore, a public affairs analyst, social commentator, and I'm the coordinator, Peace Advocates Nigeria. Now, Elder Ajilore, so do you think the incumbent government and ruling political party should take the third force threat, made up of many eminent Nigerians across the country, very seriously? Remember, there's always that tendency to downplay that threat by sitting governments. And during the Jonathan government, you also mentioned the government of ex-president Goodluck Jonathan, when the emerging third force was actually downplayed, and the rest is history. We know what happened after, of course, the former president was forced out at the ballot. So what do you think, like I said, the incumbent government and the ruling political class, should they be taking the third force threat very seriously? I mean, the threat to their own perpetuation in governance now.
Yeah, if they take them seriously, or they don't take them seriously, well, that's their own cup of tea. You know what? All the people are interested in is good governance, good lives, improved quality of life. Even if third force is not taken seriously, whether they take it seriously or not take it seriously, the tsunami, if care is not taken, that will sweep away the present government, the present administration is waiting at the corner. Reason one, the hunger, the poverty level as we speak is what that will drive it. What will drive it will drive it.
You are making a prediction, and they are promising better times. They are promising that these are only the birth pangs, and that when the baby comes, that will all be the better for it.
They go to the streets, you know, ask people questions.
Yes, they said it's only for a while. They are promising us better times, especially this year is supposed to be the one.
They are still promising us, you know, hope is good. Say, you know, when they came with their what they call hope. What's it called? Agenda.
Hope agenda.
I think the renewed hope agenda. That was what they came in with. Renewed hope agenda. That means all they're saying is that okay, you just relax agenda. Just like I said, that hope is the anchor for the mind, for the soul. All right. And hope, he said, is not a strategy. And I do say this, that hope is not a strategy. Hope is not, hope does not put food on the man's table. No. Hope does not provide jobs. It is your capacity to sit down and think creatively and think and turn to a legacy thinker, you know, that you know that you have a plan, that you know you have come to solve a problem that will solve it. So it is important that they cannot continue to tell the people that they should just relax. For how long? For how long will this will last? Good governance. I said that the word governance comes from the Latin word cubano. That's the driver. You see, the one that occupies the driver's side. You know, the one who drives the cab to a destination. Where are we going? The majority of Nigeria don't know where we are going.
No, they also telling us to be good passengers as well. They also, like you said, they're also telling us to be proactive thinkers, to be at least have a role to play. In the scheme of things, I'm talking about you and I now. Maybe that's what they're also trying to tell us.
We have a role to play, and the role to play is to watch out for how creative they are, how strategic they are. They are the leaders. They know we give them job to do. We brought them we brought them in to solve problems. And it is creativity that solves problems. It is productivity that solves problems. But when they came in, they took creativity out of the way. No electricity, no power supply, no fuel to move around. They took productivity out of our way, and we became so impoverished as people that advancing and moving forward as a people, you know, is a big challenge to majority of Nigerians. And so the third force, like we said, that when the third force will come, it will come like a tsunami that will sweep them away, and not until they rise up to face the big business that is given to them.
Okay, so for you, the third force means the people themselves.
The third force, the people themselves. That and there are groups. Look, you know, as we speak, there are various groups that are being formed all over the place by concerned Nigerians, all right, that will come together as a coalition to push this government out of the way. You know, if they will not let the poor breathe, if they will not let the common man, you know, live a dignified life. You see, when a man is made to not have the capacity to think creatively, you see, it becomes a burden to himself and to the people around him. You see?
Your position regarding the current government, that could be interpreted to be your opinion, and ultimately the Nigerian people will decide when it's time. There are a lot of Nigerians who may not share your views, who may want to see the current government continue in power, and who are still perpetuating this hope we are talking about. Well, I want to ask you this again, Elder Jilore. It is said that 2 years of a typical 4-year tenure in our system is used for serious governance, while the remaining 2 are for politicking. Now, what do you think, and is this always the case, and would you support a tinkering with the constitution on account of this, so the people would have more access to the gains of democratic governance? I mean, tinkering with the constitution in terms of perhaps tenure elongation, so that there will be more time for serious governance, instead of using 2 years for serious governance and the remaining 2 for politicking. As we wind down.
No. It's not about the time given them. You see, it is a lifetime opportunity, and life itself is an opportunity, and every opportunity have a lifespan. All right, and when you know that this opportunity has been given to you, and the privilege, to not because you even have the monopoly of wisdom that you become a leader. So by saying that within 2 years that you have only two years or less than 2 years for governance or for politics, and this is the problem we even have with politicians. After winning one election, the next thing they move into is to play policies and look into the next election again. Not the people, not to take care of the people. Why the people are waiting, why the people are waiting for them to bail them out of all the troubles that they find themselves. They continue to torture them. And one thing is that if torture continues, over a period of over an extended period, just as we see in Nigeria now, the brain itself, the brain of a man suffers irreparable tissue damage, and that is where, and that irreparable tissue damage in the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex. Now, that is the reason you see what you see today, where boyfriend will be slaughtering, the boyfriend. You will say, are these people mad? Where is this madness coming from? It's because of this torture that we are talking about. The people they are in trouble. Many people are strangulating emotionally. They are unable to really coordinate, the way they think. They are unable to really coordinate their lives. This is the reason you see, father killing children, husband killing wife, and all manners of things. What about all the bandits, the kidnappers, and all the stuff that we see around us. So it is only good governance that can deliver us from this. Most especially cutting down the cost of governance. We have cried and cried and cried, yet the over-bloated budget and the expenses is still there, and it's mounting on daily basis. So this is the reason there will not be peace or development if they continue in this manner. And this is the reason I'm talking about this tsunami that may likely sweep away this present government if care is not taken. They need to rise up to their responsibility. They need to do the work that is given to them to do. And we know that as we march towards the end of the administration, I think I pray they do the needful.
So ultimately, the people who will decide where the pendulum swings the next electoral race. But good governance, like you said, is key, and a rebranding of our minds as the people. Well, that's about how much we can take on Searchlight this afternoon, and then we really have to go. It's been an interesting time with you, Elder Jilore, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Our program is in Searchlight, and we've been discussing the topic between politics and development midway to 2027 electoral race. Next week is another time. We'll be back with another interesting topical issue on Searchlight. Till then, my name is Tola Teriba, your host. Bye-bye.
ní Cowrywise. A jẹ́ olùṣàkóso ọ̀rọ̀ fún gbogbo ọmọ Nàìjíríà. A ní iṣẹ́ kan ṣoṣo. Òun náà ní láti ṣe ìrànlọ́wọ́ fún wọn bí owó rẹ ṣe máa gbèrú sí i. Ohun tí ó dára ni pé tí o bá ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun fún owó rẹ, ó yẹ kí owó rẹ náà ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun fún ọ. Gbogbo ohun tí o nílò ní fóònù alágbèéká láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìfowópamọ́ fún ọjọ́ iwájú rẹ lónìí. Forúkọsílẹ̀ lórí www.cowrywise.com láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìfowópamọ́ àti ìdókòwò lónìí.
The time is 4 o'clock.
The news.
Good evening. The news on the hour. The United States Ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills, has said there is no evidence that the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, is funding Boko Haram or any terrorist group. Mills stated this after meeting with the Nigeria Governors Forum in Abuja that no nation condemns Boko Haram's violence more strongly than the U.S. He assured all that if any evidence is found, the U.S. government will work with the Nigerian government to investigate it. It will be recalled that on the 13th of February, Congressman Scott Perry accused USAID of funding terrorist groups, including Boko Haram. As a result, the Senate has called on the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, along with the heads of the National Intelligence Agency and the Defense Intelligence Agency to address allegations of terrorist funding involving USAID. The federal government has received 180 stranded Nigerians from Libya, whose return was facilitated by the Nigerian Mission in Tripoli and the International Organization for Migration IOM. The returnees were received at the cargo terminal of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos yesterday night. The returnees comprised 76 males, 92 females, 8 children, and 4 infants. The Federal Commissioner of the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, Tijani Akmer, stated that in line with Mr. President's renewed Hope Agenda, the returnees will be integrated into various government programs, as well as the reintegration programs of the UN Migration Agency, IOM. And that was the news on the hour. Thank you so much for listening. Good evening.
Ẹ kúrọ̀lẹ́ o, ìròyìn ní ṣókí. Aṣojú ilẹ̀ Amẹ́ríkà lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà Richard Mills ti jẹ́ kó di mímọ̀ pé kò sí àrídájú pé àjọ tó ń wà fúnṣẹ́ ìdàgbàsókè lágbàáyé ló ń ṣonígbọ̀wọ́ ikọ̀ Boko Haram tàbí àwọn ẹgbẹ́ agbésùnmọ̀mí mìíràn. Mills sọ̀rọ̀ yìí lẹ́yìn ìpàdé tó ṣe pẹ̀lú àgbáríjọpọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ àwọn gómìnà nílẹ̀ yìí nílùú Àbújá. Ó ní kò sí orílẹ̀-èdè tó tako ìṣọwọ́ ṣiṣẹ́ ikọ̀ Boko Haram tó ilẹ̀ Amẹ́ríkà. Ó fọwọ́ ìdánilójú sọ̀yà pé bí ẹ̀rí tó dájú bá wà pé ìjọba ilẹ̀ Amẹ́ríkà ló wà nídìí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí, ìjọba ilẹ̀ Amẹ́ríkà ti ṣetán láti ṣiṣẹ́ pọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìjọba orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà láti tanná wádìí ọ̀rọ̀ náà. A ó rántí pé lọ́jọ́ 13 oṣù kejì ọdún yìí ni Congressman Scott Perry fẹ̀sùn kan àjọ USAID pé òun ló ń ṣonígbọ̀wọ́ àwọn ikọ̀ agbésùnmọ̀mí kan tó fi mọ́ ikọ̀